Beijing says now only patriots can run for elected offices in Hong Kong, and that got people in the West nervous. Some folks think it is a foregone conclusion that Hong Kong's democracy will be further undermined and its freedom compromised. Well, a few things to bear in mind here. China is not the only country that has patriotism requirements for elected offices. If you read the US Constitution, you will find requirements for love of country for political candidates too. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to the US Constitution says a person cannot run for Congress, President, Vice President, or any office, civil or military, if he or she has, quote, engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the state, or has, quote, given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. If you take a trip down rural America, as I have done hundreds of times, you would be surprised by the number of stars and stripes you can find lining the houses. In American schools, students, young kids, recite the Pledge of Allegiance every day. And before any sporting event, there is the national anthem.
How often have you been saying the Pledge of Allegiance? Is it every day?
Every day.
Every single day?
Every day.
Yeah. One probably cannot fully appreciate the extent of American patriotism until they get there. At least that is my experience. Some folks will say, wait a minute, this is about Hong Kong, an autonomous region in China, and the region's autonomy should be respected in letter and in spirit. That's true. But Beijing's argument is that autonomy should not slip into lawlessness, anarchy, or cause for independence, as was the case on a few occasions during the riots. The national security law passed last year, and the new patriotism requirements can be interpreted as China's own way of drawing political red lines to ensure national unity and social cohesion, as well as to deter secession. The aspiration to maintain unity is not unique. Remember Catalonia? That is an autonomous region in Spain. It has had a complex relationship with Madrid too. But when Catalonia declared independence in October 2017, Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy immediately overtook the Catalonian local government and issued an arrest warrant for its pro-independence leader Carlos Puigdemont. That is based on Article 155 of the Spanish Constitution, which says, quote, if a self-governing community acts in a way that is seriously prejudicial to the general interests of Spain, the government may take all measures necessary to compel the community to meet said obligations or to protect general interests. Back then, I don't remember Western commentators describing Spain's move to maintain national unity as suppression of freedom or undermining of democracy. Finally, those who worry about Hong Kong's democracy can perhaps think more open-mindedly about what democracy can and cannot do. Some political scientists argue that what countries should really be competing for nowadays is superior governance instead of form of government. That is, whether a country's system suits its own reality and delivers for most of its people. Many indicators show that Beijing's approach, known as one country, two systems, has largely worked for Hong Kong. The city's economy ranked the second freest in the world in 2020. It is according to America's Heritage Foundation. It was ranked the freest before the unrest. In the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business 2020 ranking, Hong Kong placed the third globally. The city has one of the lowest COVID cases counts among the world's major economies as of March 2021, and its students constantly rank near the top in their reading and math skills, according to OECD. Now, back to Beijing's new proposal that requires the city's political candidates to be patriots. Observers in the West should perhaps give it the benefit of the doubt, as only time will tell if it serves the people of Hong Kong well.